Whatever you do in boating, you better always hold on to something, you better always be ready. Just like some of the things we'll witness in this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week, the one that really confuses me is the kid who ran to the stern of the boat or the back of the boat. I thought he was going to jump off for a minute. Let me know in the comments if you thought the same. Speaking of jumping off, I'm not sure what Captain was thinking here. He left the helm and, well, he decided to do exactly what we just mentioned before. Go ahead and jump off. Probably not the best plan to use yourself as a fender. Nor is it the best plan to use yourself as a projectile. I mean, this crew's jumping right into summer with a little tubing action, but they've definitely taken it to the extreme. The key is when you do something like this, can you actually nail the landing? Our guy looks pretty good all the way to that point. This crew decides to jump right in on Summer as well, but unfortunately for her, she decides she's going to do it the hard way. And this is just the unfortunate way, not the way you want to jump in at all. You always got to remember, if you're heading out there to enjoy that day of boating, you might as well go ahead and stop by the gas pump and get her filled up. But I'll tell you what, it is awfully nice of our girl here to go ahead and jump in with the deck brush as well. Too many times we just watch everybody sit there and watch one person do all the work. Now, of course, you don't got to stop by the fuel pump if you got a sailboat. You can just send her. Now, this is definitely not the kind of jumping you want to see either. It looks like several parts decided to jump off this trailer as they were going down. Now, speaking of jumping in, I bet this crew wishes they jumped in way before this happened. Now, the wild part of this one is that it's definitely a professional boating tour right here. The other crew looks like they were probably out there enjoying a pleasure boat day, but man, this one turns wild pretty fast as this boat winds up going down. Again, this crew should have jumped in a little earlier, but it looks like they got jumped in now anyway. Our guy right here standing up in the boat holding on to the bimini top. I mean, what could go wrong? That bimini top sure is plenty steady to hold on to our guy. Fortunately for him though, I got a feeling he kind of knows what he's doing. This isn't his first rodeo as he goes around playing in the waves. I mean, at least he looks like he's having a good time, but man, a single engine boat, getting yourself into the whitewash like this, I don't feel like that's ever a good idea. Now, the only thing I will say about this one, at least it's only him on the boat. So the only person he's really putting in danger at this moment is himself, but you know darn well if you're seeing him out here playing around like this, even by himself, that there's plenty of times he's got other people on this boat and he's taking them out there. Let me know in the comments below if you go out there with this guy and playing the surf like this. One big disadvantage if you get out there and start playing in the surf or getting a little too close to the breakers, typically that means you're playing in shallow water, and that means that you're probably going to find yourself in trouble at some point, kind of like our crew has done here. Now, you only got two options when this happens. Option one, wait for that tide to come back up if you're in a coastal area. Option two, call one of the boys with the towboats to come out and get you, which is a good reminder to always make sure that you renew that tow insurance. I mean, we're starting to roll into the summer now, and it's always amazing to me to find out how many people forget to renew it until they figure out that they need it. Now, we don't often expect to see boneheaded mistakes from the pros, but it looks like this pro forgot the golden rule, which is never approach anything any faster than you're willing to hit it. I bet they'll follow it next time. I feel like this incident could have happened at one of the local boat ramps with the amount of cameras pulled out filming this incident. Everybody stopped, nobody's really helping, they're all just sitting there actually filming for the gram. This one always reminds me of that one buddy we all have when we go out there and boating. They always want to help, they always want to get involved, yet somehow they always miss the key when it's time to get involved. Something that's often overlooked when you upgrade the boat is forgetting that you're going to have to upgrade that boat slip, and when the Marina wants another $300 a month, you figure out a way to make that boat fit. Now, I know there's no blowers on a jet ski, so what do you actually think caused this? Let me know in the comments. Similar situation here, our guy's filling up with fuel and all of a sudden things go wrong and a fire breaks out. I've never seen somebody throw a gas pump so quick in my life, and our guy goes running down the dock with the quickness. I mean, this is definitely that fight or flight instinct kicking in, but is that what he really should have done? Or should he probably have grabbed the fire extinguisher off the boat and tried to extinguish the blaze? Now, after that instinct kicks in, our guy, for some reason, decides he's gonna come running back down the dock and reapproach the vessel, as we'll see in a few seconds, and he winds up getting onto the boat to try and close the fuel cap, I believe, to try and stop the fire from blowing the vessel up. I mean, you don't need to blow the vessel up if you can just sink it. Now, I've heard of the old nope rope on land, but what do you think you call this in the water? I'm pretty sure this is a basking shark, but man, that would be very intimidating to see behind my boat if I was out there. Definitely don't think I'd go for a swim with this. Talking about going for a swim, this next trailer would love to get in the water. Now, one way to not have hubs blow out on you is find a way to not have to tow that far, like this crew. Just park the boat on the beach and, have your own method of getting it launched. And back to the old jumping in method, you don't typically think of fishermen when you think about jumping into the water, enjoying a day out of boating, but this crew goes ahead and takes that method. They thought they had the fish on, the next thing they know they lost it, but our angler decides he's not giving up that easy, and he's getting his fish. Now, it really is amazing to me that he was able to get in and get the fish, but I'm still not sure that I would have done this. The amount of times I see shark catching people's fish before they can get it in the boat, that might intimidate me a little bit to where I wouldn't do it. Now, you definitely know things went wrong when you see the lifeboat washed up on the beach and then there's containers all along the beach as well. Not a good sign. Now, of course, getting in the water and jumping in, which I'm assuming this crew wound up having to do, is always a fun thing, but there is definitely one place where you don't want to jump in the water, and that would be right here. I mean, at least this crew is a little bit smart. The guys are wearing helmets, but my real question on this one is, what happens if one of them falls off? Because obviously the current, the flow is going the opposite direction of the boat. Are you going to be able to get back and get them, or are they just going for a super long ride? Or maybe that's why the camera's behind them and they've got a boat back there just in case this crew falls off and that boat's there to pick these guys up. But that sounds like a pretty poor plan as well, because I gotta imagine if something goes wrong in this situation, everything is going to happen fast, and then you're sending somebody back toward a boat that is under power. Probably not the best plan at all, but it does look super fun and a little bit of a wily ride. Let me know in the comments if this was something you would do. And speaking of things that I know I wouldn't do, our next crew's trying to pull off a feat on the water that I would have never even had cross my mind to try and do. I mean, I've heard of kite surfing and all kinds of fun things like that, but paraglider surfing on the water, that one is a whole new realm to me. Now, I guess apparently these are a little more common on the water than you might think. I remember seeing when we were out at Boca Grande this past week, and apparently, it's not uncommon for these boys to get out there and have a little fun with the boats themselves, but sometimes they get a little too close. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up at Broncos Guru on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like MS Low 208, Snook Mafia, Atlantic Shark, Adam Coolidge, and Benjamin MC did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.